everybody, one of Weezem here. Sunday evening, it's a cold, snowy day. What we're going to do here is attempt, this is one of those things I can't explain super well to you. It's kind of the disclosure at the start of the video. But what we can do is take a look at it, showcase it, and that's what we will be doing. Doing this mainly because this thing looks amazing. Initially, my build, of course, scheme was going to be white. And you would think, okay, you should go kind of with, you know, the white, chrome look, something like that, complementary colors. I thought the blue kind of looked lame on the retailer pictures, you know, Newegg, Amazon, anywhere it was available for sale essentially. And then I found user photos of this part on Amazon, and the blue looked amazing, and that changed my mind. Plus, while everything else sold out, so there was a huge like $25 off sale, everything else sold, but the blue was still available. $99.99 is the usual retail price, with $25 off, $74.99, and then a $10 rebate, $64.99. Pretty much getting it for like 2/3 of the price, which is always nice. So again, little savings across the board add up along the way. So what this is, of course, is the Phanteks PH-TC14PE. So once again, it's not like a personalized box, and it's one of those things you kind of worry about, like, oh no, they sipped the wrong color. What they do here, if you see black and you're like, no, they butchered it. Of course, what that is, there's 5 different color options, and so they just kind of, you know, place the dot there. The black dot could have been blue, and it might not cause the instantaneous freak out before you further investigate, but not too shabby overall. So the red, if I was building a red gaming computer, white and red type of theme, it would actually look pretty good. The problem is I don't really like that. So orange I do like, but that would tie in more with black, and that's actually pretty cool that they do offer that. The blue looked weird, again, online, but on the pictures users that actually had the product posted, it looked amazing. And that's kind of what we have inside the box. Right here, that one, that's kind of just like your traditional finish. That would have, you know, white cased fans sort of tie in there. And then, of course, black, which was another option. But again, much higher price points. So not all of this will make sense to me. I can't explain all of it, but we will attempt to highlight it. So it's the model, once again, PH-TC14PE, heatsink and fan. There's what it's compatible with. I don't know, that maybe they have updated that 11.5X, but you get the feel for it. Again, accurate and updated information can be found on the Phantek's website. So the material, you got copper, of course. I believe it would be chrome plated, nickel plated, it looks like. So base and 8mm heat pipes. There will be 5 on each side. Aluminum, of course, on the radiator, your cooling fins and the top cover, with painted PATS physical antioxidant thermal shield to increase coolant performance. Never heard of that in the automotive world, but I know it looks cool, so we'll run with that. And let's see, patented CPSC technology, cold plasma spraying coating technology to enhance thermal conductivity. So again, pretty fancy stuff. Will it have real world gains? I don't have anything to compare it to. You'll have to look elsewhere for that. So our fan models, we're going to have 2 PH F140 PMW premium fans. The fan size is going to be 140mm, 140 by 25, dual fan included. Apparently back in the day, this thing used to come equipped with a 3rd fan. You could probably still add that pretty easily. The bearing type is updraft floating balance bearing. Blade geometry, 9 blades with maelstrom vortex booster design. Input power 2.8 watts, amperage draw 0.24, 12 volts, blah blah blah. 150,000 hours, that should be nice if we get it. RPM 6 to 1300. Max airflow, what does that say? 40.9 to 88.6 CFM. Again, that'll vary with your RPM. Max air pressure, millimeters of, well, I'm not really sure. So we pretty much covered what we're capable of here. However, 5 years, the other thing that's going to be critically important. Let's see if they have a section for it. No, I thought somewhere on here they had the height. I think it's 193 millimeters, so I believe that's what I remember. Heatsink dimensions with dual fans, 159, 140, 171. And we'll just roll with that. So 5-year warranty. Again, a lot of those specs probably beyond not only myself, but some of you as well. And PATS Physical Antioxidant Thermal Shield. We've kind of covered that. CPSC. These are both patented, so I guess they must be somewhat legit. Cold Plasma Spraying Coating Technology. Then we've got designed with dual tower radiators. The PH-TC14PE has 5 8mm heat pipes linearly aligned to ensure optimal cooling. The cooler is made to have the least amount of air and thermal resistance. Coming down below that, the Phanteks PH-F140 Premium 140mm fans use updraft floating balance UFB bearing. 9 Maelstrom Vortex Booster VMB blades to achieve massive airflow and perfect dynamic balance. To reduce noise, that's like a little typewriter here. To reduce noise level, the fan emits a low dBA with the support of the acoustic rubber damper and rubber bar to help eliminate vibration. Let's see, the Solely Skew Universal, no clue there. Mounting kit provides an easy to install rotational backplate for Intel LGA 2011 11.5X 1366 775 and AMD FM2 FM1 AM3 Plus AM3 AM2 Plus AM2 stock backplate required. And let's see here, that is their thermal paste. We won't cover that, so we'll assume it's good stuff if they've included it. Main thing here, again, that just kind of hashes out some things that might not be included in your online listing. So the first thing we've got is the instructions. It looks like we've got German and English. So just a quick look here. It's a 4-fold deal, and let's see, there are grand total of 13 steps. Hopefully not too difficult. The thing I've read on the reviews, it has quite a few people that say they will never ever get one of these again or put one in for a friend because it's just a complete pain apparently. This is the packaging. Again, it's kind of like custom tiered styrofoam, so very well done there. The main thing, again, the reason we're doing this, we get to showcase it to you what it looks like, because that's important. And again, I went by some pictures people had and I was actually pretty impressed with it. So right here we've got the dual fans. I think initially these might have had a tri-bar design. I actually like this a little bit better. It's a bit more balanced in my opinion. It was sort of like the 4 fans. Not 4 fans, but our internal structure. Looks like we are sleeved white, which is very nice. That's actually a nice braided loom right there. It's not just a wire sleeve itself. So there we go. Once again, that is a... Do we have a model number there? We should. Oh yeah, there it is. PHF140HP, just like we saw on the back of the packaging. And as you can see here, we'll go ahead. We'll take this one out. We'll leave the other one in the actual Ziploc. That's the one thing here everyone can relate to. It's like a sandwich bag, right? So if you're feeling down, a little confused, overwhelmed, you can relate to that. So right there, look, what is that, 4-pin? Yes. And once again, Phantek's logo. There we go, blue blades, which that's kind of a funky blue color, but just trust me on this. You're mainly going to be looking at, you know, the top inside here, which we'll show you in a second, and then the white frame of the 140mm fan. So we will set that down and we'll try to mock it up. Again, right over here on the other side, we've got our second fan, exactly what we just looked at. No need to duplicate that. Center section, I will assume, is our mounting hardware. And why they switched from the third fan, I couldn't personally tell you. I'm sure, I don't know if it's a cost benefit, if it didn't add that much to it, if it was a hazard, I don't know. I would personally think, given the design, it wouldn't do too much unless we were like on the back casing or something. But let's see here. This is accessory, so it says so on the bag, accessory. So let's see what we've got. Lots of stuff in here actually. All right, so there's their thermal compound. That's actually nice they included that. Makes you wish you wouldn't have bought it, but again, you never know. Looks like we've got some mounting hardware, some fan clips. Who knows what all exactly. We'll kind of piece this thing together. I don't know that I'll do a video assembling it. I might. From what I could tell, I could not personally find one where someone actually assembled this. I've seen people unbox other versions. I've seen people install it and test them, but I've not actually seen someone do an assembly on it. So that's the AMD set. I do know enough to know that we won't need that right now, so we'll just put it back in the box. But hey, they cover it. So there we go. Right here, this is the Intel set. We will need that one. Looks like we've got some standoffs, some mounting brackets, more mounting hardware, the backing plate, and let's see, that will probably list everything off. If not, again, check with their site. They probably update them. But 1366, 1156, 1155, and 775 LGA. So there's that. Now the real money shot is coming, of course. And this is the main thing I wanted to show because it's one thing I can do and you can just look at, and it doesn't matter my lack of technical expertise. You can just appreciate it and decide if it is what you want. So we're going to pull this out. And that is it, man. It looks amazing in person. I don't know why the photos online are like so out of sync with the reality here, and I don't know why end users can take pictures in dimly lit cases that look like, you know, a solar flare or a lighthouse, professional studios, kitchen tables. All I know is this thing looks really, really bad presented online in, you know, essentially your retail outlets, and when you see it in someone else's or in person, it looks quite nice. So again, I've got a lot of background in the automotive side, so what this looks like to me is anodized blue aluminum. So if you're plumbing AN fitting something along that line, this is very, very similar. It's not maybe as dark, but you know, there's a lot of different off-brand spin-offs, and many share this kind of a color tone. So it looks really, really good. That's basically what we need to say there. So the fins themselves, very nice. Pretty nice piece here. Obviously, it looks like you've got a lot of surface area. You're going to be dissipating a lot of heat. Factor in the fans where you're, I assume, haven't really thoroughly studied it, but I assume pulling air and pushing it out, that is going to help even more. I wonder what this would do without fans. I don't have the money to test that, but I think it would cool somewhat decent. We'll want to pull all that fuzzy stuff out before we run it. I'm not sure where it came from, but if it looks like, you know, kind of an exhaust system, some headers or something, those are the 5 per side. You literally, there's not space for 6. And those are 8mm heat pipes. Again, they are plated, so a lot of the coolers I looked at, when I decided I was scared to run water cooling because I'd never done it before, at least with this build, I think in the future I'm going to give it a go. But initially I wanted to just stick to what was safe. Air won't leak. And if it does leak and it doesn't flow through currently, it's not going to ruin other high dollar components. So there's some cool ones out there. There's some that are actually designed to look like engines. There's some that are just as cheap as can be. And you, instead of having this plated, which looks oh so nice with the anodized finish, they're just straight up copper. And when you sinter copper, you know, if you do anything to it, solder on it, it discolors, the flux is there, and it does not look that cool unless you're going for that kind of a design. But right here, this is very, very nice, and I am quite pleased with it. So there's a look at the bottom side again right there. That's what we'll set up against the processor. And once more, 5 on each side. That's the max they can fit, and plenty of space actually for each heat pipe then to dissipate here through the rad. So pretty cool, I have to say, and it looks amazing. Again, the main reviews I read, everyone seemed to like it. There's a few people like, oh, it's not as good as I thought. Most of those seem to be coming from water cooling people. The water cooling, I think, would look better. It'd be a little bit sleeker. I could do some cool stuff with the plumbing. But again, personally, as a first-time builder, I am afraid that it would leak. And I don't want to take that risk just yet. So if we get this up and running and we have a lot of fun, I might try out my hand at water cooling, see what we can do there. But for now, this is safe. It looks pretty sweet. It's going to look pretty good in our case. It matches our RAM. I think it'll tie in nicely with the motherboard. We'll have to just kind of wait and see. But this is a pretty high quality piece, and for $65, I feel like we did pretty well. Again, retail $99, $25 off, $10 rebate. Not too shabby, and again, it does come in 5 different color options. I think they pretty much cover, I would think, 80-85% of users out there. So very, very nice piece in my opinion. What I'll try to do is figure out how to put this together. That is the one downside. I have not experienced it personally, but the one thing that wasn't just like a rogue, really ticked off person or someone just venting, fairly consistently on multiple sites, what I saw is that people said this was very difficult to assemble. They hated it. Loved the product, loved the end result, did not have a good time assembling it. So I'm excited to kind of see that. Again, I've got automotive background. I don't think it would be too difficult. This is something that will be hard for me to screw up, you know. So when we get into all the wires and connections and the thermal paste and everything, maybe. But I think this is fairly straightforward for me. So we'll see what we can do. And main thing, again, just really to showcase the color. Obviously the fins look a little bit darker just because they've got shadows and lights falling on them, but the three kind of pillars here and then the front cover, very true kind of a just traditional anodized blue aluminum. So right here on this little MTech knife, it's a bit darker of a blue. That'll give you a nice kind of color comparison between the two. But again, most side glass panes seem to be tinted, and so that'll kind of play into that as well. Keep that in mind if you've got tint, or if you're going straight clear, plexi, something along those lines. But it looks cool. I think it's gonna cool, and that's the most important thing, I guess. Function over, you know, aesthetics, I suppose. So that said, I feel like we got aesthetics and the function going on here. Technical stuff, I can't really tell you more than what the box says. I know this looks cool. I know that the blue really, truly does look way better here in person than it does online. I'll try to slide this in, I guess, in the middle slot. This will be the last thing we do, but I guess just here in the middle would be the best place to frame this so you can kind of pick up on the color tones. And there we go. I'll try to hold it. Kind of difficult to do, even with a tripod. Let's see here. Reposition our hands. We have big hands. They come in handy for things like this. Of course, I'd have the logo inverted, but you get the idea. I mean, the blue on the white is a very, very nice contrast. We'll zoom in a little bit for you. I think it's going to pop with our case and look cool, and most importantly, as we've said, actually cool. So that's about all I can tell you. Again, I might do a video on the assembly. I don't know. I'll kind of assess the instruction sheet, see what we think. It's way easier if I don't, but we'll see. Maybe just show you the finished product. I don't know. But this is the Phantek's. Got to spin it around. It's PH-14. What is it? PH-TC14PE. I nearly had it right. That's actually what I was going to say, but I was afraid it was wrong. So, Newegg.com is where I sourced it. $99 is the usual retail. $64.99 here. I assume if you wait throughout the year, you can probably pick it up for, you know, somewhere between those two price points. So keep that in mind. That said, I'm happy with the aesthetics. It looks really neat, and based largely upon reviews, I'm hoping that it performs for us. So that's about all I can tell you. Hope this helps you out. Mainly just lets you see what this thing looks like in person, gives you a feel for it there. So once again, thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you back here for more PC components as we attempt to build our first gaming computer. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Hope it helped, and we will catch you later.